In America today, the Democrats are still no closer to working out who is going to be the person to take on Donald Trump and, in my view, lose in November. But here's the numbers that happened in New Hampshire where, on popular vote, Bernie Sanders won and won pretty strongly. Buttigieg was the second, followed by Klobuchar, who has been really the senator who's sort of taken the next moderate position, and then it falls away with Warren and Biden. Now, have a look at some of those numbers, all right? If we can go full screen, that'd be great. But 71,000 is the popular vote compared to Buttigieg's 68,000. However, the way the delegate math works, before we get to what happens next, but the delegate math, well, it turns around and it will tell you that everyone got the same amount, except for Biden, who, of course, got a duck egg. Nothing. We're getting ahead of ourselves here tonight, guys, because what happens next? Let me show you. The Nevada debate will be happening next week. And then, at the end of next week, or the next couple of weeks, the Nevada caucus will take place. Now, Mike Bloomberg has been able to basically buy his way in, but whether he'll take the stage or not in Nevada, I don't know, because he's not actually on the list in Nevada. Bernie Sanders is apparently leading in the latest polls, but the Culinary Union, who of course represent so many of those casino and restaurant workers, they're out there trying to trash Sanders as we speak. Then it's the South Carolina primary, where Bloomberg isn't running at all, and the South Carolina primary is the firewall of Joe Biden, where he currently leads at 11% because 68% of that state is African American. And then it's about Super Tuesday. This will ultimately decide which way it is going to go. We're talking about states like Alabama, American Samoa, Arkansas, California, Colorado, Maine, Massachusetts, Minnesota, North Carolina, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Texas, Utah, Vermont and Virginia. 65% of all of the delegates will be divvied up between now and the very first week in March. So there is plenty to watch. The media look like they've tried to work out exactly who their candidate is, but this is a perfect example about how often politicians and media get way too close. This is a reporter on the lefty cable channel, MSNBC. His job is to follow around Pete Buttigieg, and instead of reporting on Pete Buttigieg, he says crap like this after his second place today in New Hampshire.
God bless Pete Buttigieg, but he kind of talks at the level of Mr. Rogers. And with that sort of composure and poise, and he just did it up here on the stage in New Hampshire. He did it in Iowa. It's impressive. He's an amazing human being. I mean, and conversationally, that's the one part I'd like to get to that point where we get to know the Pete Buttigieg a little bit more.
All right, well, we'll see what happens because Super Tuesday is where it goes in the next little while. Also, I should give you a little tip. The Democrats have started to put together their next battle of impeachment, their next attempt to try and tear Donald Trump out of the presidency. It is all to do with a longtime friend of his, Roger Stone. I'll explain all a little later in the program.